Girl, we could have had a Zara Larson summer if you would have gotten your head out of Alex Warren's ass. Nicki Minaj is MAGA now. That one's a lafufu. She's rough. Her feet are clubbed. Her head spins around all the way. But I love Labubus. I actually do. I think they're so cute. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Carter on Camera. This is part of my capstone. So, my capstone consists of 3 parts. It's my column with the picket, it's my radio show, and it's this podcast. It's this visual podcast that you're watching right now. So, the theme is going to change every week, and this week's theme is 2025 pop culture. Now, I know everybody and their mama has done a podcast recapping 2025 pop culture, but I'm not everybody and their mama. I am Carter. Now, 2025 was the year of mediocrity and slop. It was boring. It was trashy. It was just pure mediocrity being rewarded again and again and again and again. Felt like being in high school. At the beginning of the year, I experimented with podcasting. And I did a little podcast. I don't like podcasts, to be honest. Like, I don't like podcasts. I think they're annoying. I don't care what people's opinions are. If I want to know what people think about X, Y, and Z, I'm going to ask people I know and I care about. I don't give a fuck what some random celebrity is going to say about whatever. I'm not listening to nobody. I don't care. That being said, I did a podcast earlier just for shits and giggles. And the main theme of my podcast was mediocrity and how it's okay sometimes. It was basically in defense of Tate McRae, and this was pre-Morgan Wallen, so I take back everything I said about her that was positive. But the point still stood of B-list pop stars are needed. We need the Ava Maxes, we need the Kim Petras, we need the Tate McRaes so that we can have the Britney Spears, the Charlie XCXs, the A-listers. Because we need filler, to be honest. That's what it is. We need filler. But this whole year was filler. There was nothing but filler. It was awful. And that's as far as music goes. That is movies. That is TV. That is fashion. That is magazines. That is everything pop culture related was boring with a capital fucking B. So I am eating the words that I uttered in February in defense of Tate McRae. My problem with this year isn't just the mediocrity. It's the fact that there was no boundary pushing art, boundary breaking art to juxtapose that. You know, when we talk about mediocrity, first person that comes to my mind is Jessica Simpson. It is. So we didn't have any Britney Spearses this year to combat the Jessica Simpson-ness of the year, right? The people that were pushing boundaries were not being recognized as they should have been. And now in 2026, people are finally starting to catch on. It seems like within the past couple of years, everybody's so fucking late to the game. I was listening to Brat the day it came out, actually before it came out, when they had record store listening events. And it wasn't until 2025 when the rest of these people caught on. Like, and now everybody's just now catching on to the Zara Larson of it all. Girl, we could have had a Zara Larson summer if you would have gotten your head out of Alex Warren's ass. Nevertheless, nobody pushed envelopes this year. And if they did, they weren't being recognized. Even Lady Gaga didn't push the envelope. And you know I love me some Gaga. I love Lady Gaga. But I love her because she pushes the envelope. You know, Born This Way was envelope pushing at the time. Art pop still is envelope pushing. Joanne, hot take. I love Joanne. I love her little country girl era. That was boundary pushing. Even her jazz era was boundary pushing because it pushed the boundary she put herself in. Mayhem did nothing but regurgitate what her first 3 albums did. I like some of the Mayhem songs. That's about it. That's all I can really say about that album. Nothing stood out to me. Abracadabra was a hit, but unfortunately it wasn't given the flowers it was owed. So it didn't even end up on the year-end chart of Billboard Hot 100, which, by the way, every song on the year-end Hot 100 chart for Billboard, aside from his, was from 2024 or prior. Like, we had Pink Pony Club, which was released in 2023. Now, it's a good song. Why is that topping the charts of 2025? It's been years. Let it go. Let the mouse go. Sabrina tried to push the envelope. She had a cute little country-ish era, but nobody got it. And it also wasn't great, to be honest. Like, she rushed it. But, like, even the conversations surrounding her album cover were just reductive. I don't think people understood what she was going for. I don't think people cared to understand what she was going for. And I think because of not only that, but also the rise of conservatism and everything, it feels like everybody's holding back. All of the people who once pushed boundaries are not anymore. I mean, look at the Grammy nominations. It was either songs from 2 years ago or kids' music. And when I say kids' music, I'm talking about Golden. And don't try to convince me that that's not kids' music. It is from a kids' movie, therefore it is kids' music. It's like trying to convince me that stupid Justin Timberlake song isn't kids' music. Please. Please. Golden wasn't even just nominated. Like, that would be fine. It was nominated for the Big Four. Like, it was nominated for Song of the Year. Hello? Like, what are we doing? Let's also not ignore the Taylor Swift of it all. Her new album, thank God, had horrible critical reception because it was so bad. And I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not a Swift hater. I am apathetic towards Taylor Swift. I understand her place and her significance in the music industry, but I don't necessarily relate to her work, and that's fine. But this album was just bad. It just was. It was giving nanny, nanny, boo-hoo, I fuck him more than you do. It's not cute. And that's not even to mention the conservative tinging of her lyrics. Like in Opalite, I don't remember the exact lyrics because I don't listen to the music, but it was something like, he used to be in the onyx night, now he's found his opalite, or something like that. And a lot of people took that to be a dig at his ex, who was black. Now let's think about this. Let's think about this critically here. What color is onyx? What color is opalite? Now, when you use onyx as a negative metaphor for a bad relationship, and that relationship you're talking about just so happens to be with a black woman, don't you think there's something here that says maybe I shouldn't use this metaphor? But I feel like that just encapsulates perfectly what 2025 was as a year culturally. Like, it was awful. Along with the rise of conservatism, the rise of the culture vulture has really plagued our society, and it's really peaked its head last year. It was everywhere from performative men to white rap fans. If you don't know what a culture vulture is, think cultural appropriation. And if you don't know what that is, think Kim Kardashian with box braids. And the problem with culture vultures is not just that they're stealing the culture, but it's that they always position it through a conservative lens that fits their own narrative. So it strips it of any cultural significance or anything that made it what it once was. I think a great example of this is all of the conversations that were had on social media about the word clock it and this term that people were grossly misusing, and not only misusing, but stripping of any meaning. So a little history lesson, ballroom culture. If you don't know what that is, watch a documentary. I don't have the time nor the expertise to explain, but this, and it's between middle finger and thumb, used to mean you ate. It was like a little clap. Like, you know how in theater they do like the snaps? It was like the ballroom version of that. And it's sign language for ate, as in like you ate that, right? So people have, I don't know how, gotten some shit jumbled somehow, and they're doing like a pinch. And they're saying that means clock it, which is something totally different. Clocking somebody means like I see you, like I'm clocking it. In ballroom culture, this usually meant like you are able to tell somebody is trans, like they're clocky, they are clockable. You can clock that they are trans. But we see the people who use clock it are actively transphobic. I canceled my Zeus Network subscription a long time ago, but these people are often transphobic. They use the T slur all the time. They're homophobic too. Jayla and Anna just got caught using the F word to describe some guy that was hating on them. Like, what are we doing? It's 2026. Regardless, they're the same people who are using ballroom language, which was created by gay and trans people, and they're still making excuses for their transphobic and homophobic behavior while consuming the culture. That is what I mean when I say culture vulture. Nicki Minaj is MAGA now? What? What? Nicki Minaj is MAGA, the same girl who said, Island Gal, Donald Trump want me go home in her Black Barbie song, is now on stage with Donald Trump looking orange as fuck, mind you. She looks rough. And saying, boys, it's okay to be a boy. It's okay to be a boy. Girl, look at your fans. Nicki Minaj has not only abandoned her entire fan base, but also abandoned everybody, everything, every culture that built her. Even in all that mess, there were some great moments. Beyonce finally won Album of the Year, which is much overdue, and with a beautiful, beautiful album, I will say. Absolutely deserved it. Cowboy Carter World Tour was incredible. Along with Cowboy Carter winning Album of the Year, though, there were some great albums released this year. FKA Twigs released the Album of the Year, You Sexua. Absolutely incredible, absolutely sexual free. It was just gorgeous. You need to listen to it if you haven't. Addison Rae's debut, which was incredible. Mariah Carey released an album after 7 years, I want to say. And it was just absolutely gorgeous. She is finally getting her flowers. She won the BET Lifetime Award. She won the VMA Lifetime Award. She's finally being recognized for who she is as an artist. And I think this may be the year she gets inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If it's not, it should be. Cardi B had an incredible year. After Nicki Minaj fell off and went absolutely fucking insane, Cardi B kind of was like, hey, so that was great to see. Her album was incredible. I loved it. And this is coming from somebody who did not fuck with Cardi B for a long time. Like, she has really changed my mind. Summer Walker had a great album, even though it wasn't incredibly critically acclaimed. It was a great album. I have been loving the R&B 90s revival that Summer Walker is spearheading, and Kalani and Leon Thomas. Like, Kalani's put out some incredible music this year. Folded, Out the Window. I've also been loving the Madonna revival, like Madonna's 90s era revival when she was kind of piggybacking off of Bjork. That can be seen in FKA Twigs and in Addison Rae's new albums. I think they put their own cutesy little modern day spin on it. This is an unpopular opinion, but I think Labubus are cute. I don't care. I think it's stupid to collect 1,000 of them, but to wear it as a cute little bag charm, like, that one's a Lafufu, by the way. That one, she's rough. Her feet are clubbed. Her head spins around all the way. Yeah. But I love Labubus. I actually do. I think they're so cute. I think Labubus are so fun. And I think underrated, honestly, so underrated. Anna Wintour finally left Vogue. Thank God. Kind of. Here's my opinion with that. I think it was time for Anna Wintour to leave, but I don't like the new person they put in her place already. She wants to stop making print editions and only make special edition prints, which I think is stupid because I love print magazines. I do. There's something so peaceful about just sitting in a coffee shop and reading a physical magazine. If I wanted to scroll on my computer, I'd read Substack or something. And with that, our show has come to a close. Thank you so much for watching, and tune in next episode on Friday where I talk about how tiring it is to be gay. But I'm also going to be talking about resilience. Mwah.